Welcome back to GSF Weekly, and joining me now are game changer junior defensive end and tight end Tyler Roberts from Valley Christian. Thank you so much for coming, Tyler.
Thanks for having me here.
So just to start off, tell me how you got started with playing football in the first place.
So it started out, I actually wasn't the first one in my family, even though I'm the older sibling. My younger brother played Pop Warner, I don't know what years, but a couple years before I did. And then going into my 8th grade year, I wanted to play just to kind of feel what it was like before high school football. And then ever since I first put pads on, I've been in love with the game.
And Valley Christian, great school. What has your experience been like playing for them?
It's been incredible across the board. I mean, the coaching is beyond anything I could imagine. I mean, the teammates are awesome. We're always driving each other to be the best. And I think that attributes to a lot of our success. And then in the classroom as well, it's an awesome academic experience. I mean, I'm getting awesome grades, hopefully trying to pursue Ivy League. Overall, just taking advantage of everything that's given to me.
And let's talk about the coaching, because that's such a big part, for a player yourself. So what makes the coaching at Valley Christian stand out?
I don't know. I think first of all, our coaches have a great relationship with each other. They're never sort of one coach versus another. And then also, they just have a way of inspiring us to always give it our best and inspiring the team to bond together and always just fight as hard as we can every play.
And you actually played for our Warcat 7-on-7 team.
I did.
Yeah, so what was that like for you?
That was a really cool experience because I'd never played 7-on-7 before. And it was fun getting to come out, meet some guys from different schools, and just work on my technique and work on some parts of my game for the upcoming season.
And how has it really improved your game? How have you seen the improvements this season?
It definitely helped with some of my speed and then route running in terms of tight ends. I haven't gotten to show any of it in games yet, but just in practice and all kinds of stuff, it helps me know that I'm doing better, and it helps me give a better show to our defense, especially when we're doing scout prepping for a team so that we can be ready to beat them.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that, you played since 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So what keeps you wanting to play football?
I'm not really sure. It's every aspect of the game. I love the physicality. I love it on kickoff when we're running down the field. I see someone and I know I can just hit them as hard as I can. I love just every aspect of the game. I love the brotherhood that we have. I love the mental part of the game, how it's not just brute strength. You have to know what to do. You have to think through the plays, and it's all going 100 miles an hour, so it's not slow and boring. It's let's go, 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 go.
Yeah, and do you have any people that motivate you, any influencers or teammates that you look up to?
One person who motivates me a lot, who I looked up to, is currently playing at Iowa State, the tight end last year, Skylar Loving-Black. He's someone who really mentored me a lot last year, and who I want to try and be a player like he is. And then also my dad plays a huge part in motivating me and helping me know that everything I'm doing will pay off eventually.
That's great. And then, as someone who plays both sides of the game, what's your mindset when you step on the field?
Offense and defense are two very different things, but overall I'm just thinking of how can I beat the person across me. If I'm a defensive end, then I'm thinking how can I get past you, how can I blow you up and make the tackle. If I'm on tight end, I'm thinking what is he going to do and how can I drive him into the ground 10 yards down the field. I'm just thinking of what's next, how can I help my team win.
And you mentioned that you want to play for Ivy Leagues, but is college football a definite for you?
Yes, that's one of my ultimate goals of high school football, is getting to college.
And you've visited a lot of schools. Tell us about that experience. I
have. It's been awesome. I've seen big schools, small schools, sort of in between high academic, not as high academic schools. And it's cool getting to kind of go around the country and look at schools and see where I fit in and kind of determine for future schools what sort of interests me, what doesn't, and just going through that process.
And from a recruiting standpoint, what do you think makes you stand out to these recruiters?
I think one of the biggest things that's going to make me stand out is my academics. I've got, I believe, 4.67 GPA right now. I want to pursue a degree in medicine after undergraduate, and I've wanted to do that since I was 8. That's one of the biggest things. And I think another thing that sort of separates me from other recruits is how hard I work and how coachable I am. I've got a decent sized frame, but I'm not necessarily going to be the fastest or the strongest or the biggest player, but my heart will be bigger than anyone else. I can guarantee that.
And being a student athlete, it's challenging.
It is.
And you mentioned that you have great grades, so how do you balance all of it?
A lot of it was from I have to give a ton of credit to my parents because they helped me from a young age know that you have to take care of your priorities first, and then you can have time to fun and relax after that. So I mean, that's probably the biggest thing, is just knowing that you have to do what matters first, and sometimes make a little bit of a sacrifice from doing something that you want to do something that you need to do.
And you guys play St. Francis next.
We do.
Yeah, so how do you feel going into that game? What should we look out for?
I'm very excited going into that game. It's going to be just a complete physical battle. And I think the things just to look out for is just watch how physical we are on both sides of the ball, and that battle's going to be in the trenches.
So you mentioned that you visited some schools. What schools exactly did you visit?
I visited quite a few schools, but if I had to say sort of the top 5 that really stood out to me, first of all would be Notre Dame, which was just an incredible school to begin with without having football. And I was blessed enough to have sort of an unofficial visit set up to where I got to see behind the scenes. I got to go in their locker room, touch the Play Like a Champion sign, and I was speechless through all of that. It was an awesome experience. Another one that really stood out to me was Harvard and also Yale. Just both of those, I mean, the school itself there's no words to describe it, and then adding an awesome football team on top of that just makes it that much better. And same with Princeton. That was another school that just, from the moment I set foot, I was thinking, wow, this is something special.
So you're wanting to go far away.
Yes.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. I've sort of been sheltered here in California, but also I've had a lot of experiences. I just want to get away and experience a different part of the country, see what life is like somewhere else, and just broaden my horizons and grow.
And you visited these schools as a sophomore.
I did.
So what was that like, still being the little guy at high school and visiting these big college campuses?
It was interesting because at that point I wasn't really on any radars of coaches, but it was cool just trying to go out and build connections, email coaches, reach out, stop into offices, and just try and build connections to see what might happen over the next couple of years.
And what do you see yourself doing in the future? Why are you going to college?
My goal of going to college is, so sort of backtracking, ever since I was 8 years old, I've known I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be an emergency room doctor and maybe a trauma surgeon as well. I love the chaos of that, but it's also controlled chaos, which sort of reminds me of football. And I think that's part of why I love it so much, is just I love every aspect, the speed of everything that's going on, but also all the minute details and just all of it.
And since college football is, in full play, what's your favorite college football team?
My favorite college football team, I think it's sort of a tie between Stanford and the University of Iowa. My dad went to the University of Iowa, so he passed a lot of the cheering for them onto my brother and I, so I really like cheering for them. And then Stanford as well, their hometown team, and also I really like Coach Shaw and his coaching style.
What about the NFL?
NFL, I think my favorite team is going to have to be the 49ers, with the Vikings as a close second.
And before I let you go, is there anyone else you want to shout out before?
I just want to shout out to my team, go Warriors, and let's have a great season.
Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for coming out. And just because we appreciate you so much, we'd like you to get this Ike's gift card. So go ahead and get yourself a sandwich. Thank you so much, Tyler.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did great.